quote-unquote woke black people talking all this talk. But ain't a goddamn thing changed yet. Ain't nothing changed yet. Now, I watched the little thing with LeBron James and Enes Kanter. And I necessarily don't even like Enes Kanter, and I went off on him before, so I'm scared back in his country. But a broken clock is right twice a day. And so I'm like, wait a minute now. Let me stop being caught up in him being Enes Kanter. Let me listen to what he just said about that situation. Why he had on these goddamn shoes. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me all these athletes sit down, kneel down, do whatever the media says, and then white publicists say, but they so black and strong, they don't even got somebody from the Nation of Islam giving them their advice. They don't even got a black man or a black woman as their publicist. Their publicist is white, but it's black power. And kneel down, and we proud. Nigga, shut
up. All right. All right. Here we go again. This your boy, Bless the Best, coming at you like I always come. And we got a few things to discuss today. Familiar topics and familiar people. This particular thing, I saw this Kwame Brown video where he's responding to NBA player Enes Kanter. He's speaking out about human rights violations in China and how he feels like we shouldn't fool with China at all, right? And you know, I hear the man, but I can also see him. I'm talking about Enes Kanter right now. He doing all this shit to get attention, right? Enes Kanter, he's from Turkey, right? He came to the United States to play basketball. And after he came to the United States, he became very outspoken against Turkey and other things. And now he's become a United States citizen. See? Okay. People that come from outside of the United States, they don't see the United States the same way somebody like myself and probably most of you that grew up here, foundational Americans, foundational black Americans, some of us like myself, in the killing fields of the dirty, dirty South. So we don't see shit the way people that come from other countries. He's from Turkey, and they got a very restrictive government. You know, freedom don't mean the same thing over there. Some things that we have the right, the so-called right to do, would get them killed. And the same thing with people coming from, like some of these black immigrants coming to these other countries, and they get to America, and America is just so good to them because of what they're used to, right? So it causes them to see the world a bit different, right? But we're going to get into it, and we're going to break it down, right? I'm going to play, I think I'm going to play this first. I'm going to play some of Enes Kanter's interview that was on Fox News. You know what I mean? White supremacist headquarters, right? And he on there with these, I don't really know what show, but he on there with these three hosts, and they like agreeing with and co-signing everything he says because, you know, the right wing is anti-China, but it's fake. It's fake outrage on all sides. You know, it's a lot of, Fox News don't give a fuck about China. Enes Kanter don't give a fuck about China. Kwame Brown don't give a fuck about China. It's all political. Left against right. Left against right. And now I'm beginning to see Kwame Brown as the black wing of Fox News. And we're going to get into it, and you're going to see why in a little bit. Now, give me just a second to pull this interview up. Matter of fact, I'm just going to pause it for a second. All right, here we go. I got it queued up. Oh yeah, one more thing. This guy, Enes Kanter, he just got his citizenship, so now he's an official U.S. citizen. And he changed his name to Freedom. I'm not sure if it's Kanter Freedom. I'm not sure if he changed his first name or his last name to Freedom. He's so happy to be a U.S. citizen, and this whole thing is a big suck up to the right wing on two fronts. But here we go. Let's check him out.
Kanter Freedom. He's putting China in a full court press, but not everyone is playing along.
Kanter says members of the NBA have begged him to take off his custom shoes that call out the CCP. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Now he's raising his voice for Venezuelans trying to live the American dream like himself. Mr.
Yeah, he's wearing some sneakers in the game with like this anti-China message. That's what they talk about right here. And notice they moved from China to Venezuela. Now, I don't know if y'all aware, but some are, some probably aren't. But it's like this, okay? Venezuela is a country that the U.S. interfered with their politics, right? And they got like a authoritarian government over there, and it's a socialist country, right? That it's real fucked up because like a lot of times in socialism, where the government handles all of the industry and they pretty much just distribute shit to the citizens. You know what I mean? That's how they live. But a lot of times in that case, who's ever in control, the ruling class will just keep all the money and they'll live like kings and they'll cause the people to live like bums, right? So that's what's going on in Venezuela. Okay, why is that important to the right wing? It's because the right wing brands the left wing Democrats as socialists. So they hold up Venezuela like, look what happens when socialists rule. They always, the right wing, white supremacists, always weave these things into their message. Just like Chicago and all this. See, one of the biggest tricks is they will hold up the worst and attribute the worst characteristics to a whole people and make policy based on that shit. That is the crime in supporting that kind of shit, because you give them cover. If you don't understand how white supremacy works, anything else you think you know will only serve to confuse you, Mr. Kwame Brown. And we're going to get back to that in a minute. I just want to make sure y'all with me and see how all this shit tied together.
Freedom joins us now. It is an honor, and I speak on behalf of all of us, to have you this morning. If I may, when the members of the NBA beg you to take those sneakers off, what do you say to them?
I was like, I'm getting ready for my citizenship test, and there are 27 amendments. My first amendment is the greatest amendment of all time, freedom of speech. And I pretty much told them, listen, whatever happens, I'm not going to take the shoes off. Go tell your boss. And they said, listen, this might get you in trouble. You might get, you're banned. I was like, I don't care if I get banned, if I get fined, anything like that.
I'm glad that he don't care if he get banned or get fired. But right now, he plays for the Boston Celtics. He a marginal player at best. And, right or wrong, believe it or not, for whatever reason, marginal players can't really get involved in shit like that. When you're a superstar, you got a little leeway. I'm saying that to say this. He probably out of the league by the end of this year. By next year, he probably out of the league.
Something on my shoes that people need to know what's going on around the world. And I'm not breaking any rules because I have a conversation with Adam Silver, the commissioner, and he said I'm not breaking or violating any kind of rules. So I'm not taking it with my shoes. We'll tell your boss, and they said okay.
Well, I want to ask you this because it's important to
go tell your boss. Talking big shit now.
It's important to dive into his political opinion and his political positioning, and Rachel's going to do
Here
that
it
in
is.
a moment. But we've met once before. I spent years covering sports, and I can't tell you, I'm fascinated by this angle of this as well. Your teammates, the locker room. You've definitely taken a stand where you stand alone right now. How is that for you inside your locker room with your personal relationships?
My teammates are my biggest motivation. They always have stand right beside me. And obviously, not just my teammates, but many other players around the league are reaching out to me and saying, thank you, finally. I'm often asking them, like, listen, why don't you just join me? And many of them says, these are not my teammates. These are the people, other players.
Man, them people are not about to fuck up their bag fucking with you with some goddamn fake ass outrage that you're doing, a big show of fake ass outrage to be noticed by the right wing, to be considered a white guy and to get some of them guarantees and goodies. That's what the fuck you doing, Enes Kanter. Okay, when you say your teammates and other players around the league, right? The league is majority black. And these are black people that you're talking to, trying to tell them to join you on some bullshit for a publicity stunt and fuck up their bag because they don't give a fuck about China, right? Because they know that China, United States, right wing, left wing, Birdman, whatever, they don't give a fuck about us, Enes. That's where we at with that. But let's go.
around the league are saying that these teams got us. If they talk about this stuff or issues that you're talking about, you're not going to be able to find a contract next year, or our endorsement deals or our sponsors was going to go
They're trying to tell you some good shit. Sometimes you should just listen.
crazy. So that's why many of the athletes around the league actually are reaching out to me and sending me talking points. Are saying, what about this? What about this, that? What about this sponsor? So I was like, I have no problem with calling out sponsors, calling out teams, calling out NBA, because this is what needs to be.
Hey, Enos, say something about Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Go on out there and be a fucking crash dummy. You Turkish dummy.
And someone had to do it.
Wow, I mean, I have to tell you, like, my heart is so big right now listening to you because I'm just so inspired by you.
Fake. Super duper, fake. It's all a show, people.
First of all, I want to say merhaba. I lived in Turkey for 3 years.
Oh, God.
I lived in Turkey, a beautiful country, for 3 years, growing up as a military brat. You inspire me. And
Come on
I think
with
that
it.
what's
Come
so
on,
interesting about these
come on.
conversations that you're saying that you're having with your teammates is that you're a new American, and yet you seem to have the American independent rebel spirit, and so many of them are choosing money.
We will never be American enough to white America. And you know what? Hey, man, I'm good with it.
Over morals and freedom. What does that make you think about in terms of you being a new American?
Oh man, I remember the first time coming to America back in 2009, where one of my teammates
Oh,
criticized the
God.
president, and I was so scared of him. I turned around, and I was like, "Dude, what are you doing? They're gonna come and put you in jail." And he said, "Listen, brother, this is not Turkey. This is America. You have freedom of speech here." It is so amazing. People need to understand.
Man, that probably was a black dude. He probably like, look, man, shit. They're gonna try to put me in jail for something any goddamn way. It might as well be for something that means something.
And how blessed and lucky that they're in this situation. There's so many violations are happening all around.
We always got to be blessed and lucky. It ain't never about putting it in.
The world, and obviously America has her own problems too, but people feel needs to be
But-
lucky and you feel special to be in the situation because you got freedom of speech, religion, expression, press.
When you use the word "but" in the middle of a sentence or statement, everything that came before the word "but" is nullified.
And you got democracy, and you got human rights in there.
You're going after Venezuela as well. Nicolas Maduro is a very evil dictator. So
Right-wing talking point.
you're seeing a rise of authoritarianism, not just in China and Venezuela, but around the world. What else do you plan to do to
How about America? You see the rise in authoritarianism in America, motherfucker?
stand up to tyranny?
One thing about Venezuela, first of all, dictatorships are happening not just in Turkey or China, but all around the world. In recent years, more than 6 million Venezuelans have been forced to leave their country and looking for a chance to survive. And many of them live now as refugees or illegal immigrants around the world. My goal was to not just talk about
More fake outrage.
Turkey or China, but all the dictatorships around the world. I'm going to get them one by one. Because I believe
You go get them. You go get them one by
And,
one.
the
Really.
one thing about me, I'm not scared
Yeah.
of anything. I'm not scared of anyone by God. So I'm trying to use my platform as much as I can to inspire young generation because that's what we need the most.
And I hope this isn't the last time that we
we
talk.
wanna have you back.
Fascinating conversation.
Yes,
For sure, let me know whenever you need. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready to come back to Fox News,
Thank
motherfucker.
you.
Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
God bless you, sir.
Love that
So
guy.
as the sun comes up, a clear picture of the devastation from tornadoes that hit overnight. Keep it here for the latest from the heart.
Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, now we're gonna get to the good part, the more relevant part. We go into the black angle of all of this, and we gonna go to my man Kwame Brown, right? And we gonna see how he feels about this. Will he align with Fox News like he does on Candace Owens? Will he match Tucker Carlson again? Will he go with Fox News like he did with Rittenhouse? Will he go with Fox News like he did with the fucking McCluskeys, them fucking scumbag motherfuckers that came out with the guns and all that, or any of the other white supremacist heroes of late? We'll see. Okay. In my opinion, Kwame Brown is like this new wave of black conservative, right? You got your Candace Owens and all this, and they speak high-minded and intelligent and all this and that. Okay, Kwame Brown is the dumbed-down version, right? He speak in layman's terms, you know what I mean, disarmingly, but it matches up with everything. He loves to stress the fact that he's not in a group. But man, I see a lot of similarities, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna group nobody, but I see a lot of similarities. Let's check him out. Here we go. Hold on to your hat.
Absolutely right. Because the NBA cared about every situation, then they would have did the same thing for them. And we all know all too well that then everything is in bed with China. Quote unquote woke black people talking all this talk. But ain't a goddamn thing changed yet. Ain't nothing changed yet. Now I watched the little thing with LeBron James and Enes Kanter. And I necessarily don't even like Enes Kanter because I went off on him before, so I'm carrying that back to his country. But
For one thing, I don't think Kwame cares much for LeBron James because LeBron has aligned himself with like the Black Lives Matter movement, and Kwame doesn't seem to like the tactics and the way Black Lives Matter moves as an organization. And I can understand that because, like I've said many times before, neither do I. Black Lives Matter as a principle. That's what I mean when I say it, right? Okay. But okay, that's not the biggest problem that he has with LeBron James. The biggest problem that he has with LeBron James is that LeBron James aligns himself with the Democrats. Kwame don't like Democrats. It's obvious if you listen to him, but we'll let him carry on.
broken clock is right twice a day. And so I'm like, wait a minute now. Let me stop being caught up in him being Enes Kanter. Let me listen to what he just said about that situation. Why he had on these goddamn shoes? So wait a minute. You mean to tell me
That was the thought that he wanted to get out to black people. Stop paying attention to who's saying it and listen to what they say. Okay, that is a good principle. But it's also a double-edged sword because Kwame, you fit right into that. Okay, people look at who you are and they listen to what you're saying, right? I wouldn't think like an NBA player with your background from the South would be saying some of the things that you're saying. So let's go. But that was the reason that he mentioned that in that way.
all these athletes sit down, kneel down, do whatever the media say.
Don't forget to
and
like,
then white
comment,
publicists
and
say,
subscribe.
but they so black and strong, they don't even got somebody from the Nation of Islam giving them their advice. They don't even got a black man or a black woman as their publicist. Their publicist is white, but it's black power. And kneel down, and we proud. Nigga, shut up.
That really don't make sense, Kwame. On some of your streams, I've actually heard you defend working with white people in business. But all of a sudden on this issue, that's a bad thing. When you want to criticize the black woke crowd is getting the blame for everything right now, right? But the real woke ain't the ones you talking about, Kwame. You some of that post 2016 woke.
Nike, the NBA, everything. So if you thought that these niggas was as strong as you thought they was,
He's saying that niggas weak for working with Nike and the NBA is weak for working with Nike because Nike works with China. Look here, man. At the end of the day, just like he gonna say a little bit later, it's about money. Ain't nobody trying to fuck up their bag for some fake outrage, Kwame. Ain't nobody trying to do that. The United States of America does business with China because there's so many people and the economy is so big, it makes sense business-wise to do so. You come with this dumbed down one-step logic, bro. You got to look deeper into this shit. But when you have an agenda, especially a hidden agenda, it's hard to come down the middle.
niggas that's yelling for hire. I'm gonna get a shirt made and say I'm not a nigga that yell for hire. So that's all these niggas doing. They yelling for hire.
And you will be a nigga with a stupid ass shirt on.
Ain't got a motherfucking thing to yell about when we can go state to state and look at the black community and look at the situation it is. We ain't changed a motherfucking thing yet.
Facts.
This shit all about money.
Facts.
We got certain black folks yelling for the bigger bag. How much you gonna give me? Charles, whoa.
Facts.
Hey, yeah, black people
Facts.
do that. Black people, I like you. I'll cry for you.
See, that's the Black Lives Matter crowd he talking about and the way they move. And I don't agree with that either. So get a couple fact points for that. Let's keep it pushing.
I can't wait to finish my master plan. Cause boy, look at this. When I finish this thing I'm doing, I'm gonna stay the hell away from a lot of people. Because I'm not conforming to society. I watch certain groups and they get a carve them out a piece of land and they do their own thing. You know?
The certain groups that he is referring to is these sovereign citizen, militia type, libertarian type white supremacists. That's who he's referring to right now. They go by all these different names, but I call them what they are. White supremacists. That's the model that he's going with. But it's very much different when a group of black people do the same thing. And history will tell you that. But I think Kwame kind of like, I guess intellectually lazy. Like he don't have a lot of time to read and really dig into these subjects before he start running his mouth. Fox News on the brain. It's one of his problems.
Bother nobody. And they don't want you coming fucking with them. And I see myself doing that. I'm not gonna be a part of no groups. I don't want to smile all in your face. I don't want to pretend with you. I don't want to start a program to pretend. I didn't come to the internet saying, ooh, let's start a program. How many programs we got around the world that say they helping kids?
But you got the master plan. Let's see it.
All they doing is making a shit ton of money, getting the government to give them grants, when all you got to do is tell these kids they can do it they motherfucking self. All these little kids can be an NBA young boy, but a little more polished. Some of them don't have to go through the pain and all the shit that they see. But look at the beautiful music this young man made. Look at the beautiful music.
What fucking beautiful music has NBA YoungBoy made, man? Yo, man, I ain't gonna act like I be listening to all that shit, all that new shit like that. But I've heard, I got sons. I've heard NBA YoungBoy, and he ain't talking about shit nobody should ever follow or duplicate. First of all, but we keep it pushing.
Look at the lives he touched. White, black, young, and old. You could not hide that young man's talent from anyone. And that's why they scared of these kids. That's why they raise you up in the worst conditions, and you still seem to find a way out of it. But the problem is, to get out of those environments, you have to know a certain type of people. Some of those people don't want to see you elevating growth. So it's all a game. You got black people yelling.
To get out of these environments, you have to know a certain type of people. And these people don't want you to get out of that environment. I'm kind of confused by that statement. What type of people do you need to know? Maybe one of you smart guys in the comments can put me up on that, because I can't make much sense out of that.
That the motherfucker who made it out. He a fuck nigga. He ain't real. Why is there so much value in not being a fuck nigga and being real? What does that even mean at this point?
Using the lowest common denominator to represent the group is not a victimless crime when it can be turned back around and policy built off the top talking points that harms us. They do it on Fox News. They do it on Kwame News.
Because I don't feel real. I ain't real at all. I don't know what that means. But all I know is I'm able to greet a man with respect. I'm able to greet a woman with respect. I'm able to move around like I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to talk to the people I want to talk to. And I'm A-okay with that. I don't got to be real.
Well, you good then, Kwame. But I'm gonna end it off with LeBron James himself. All right, here we go. I'm with LeBron James on this one right here. So let's see what he got to say to this clout chaser.
LeBron, do you have any reaction to Enes Kanter using your likeness on his shoes in his advocacy for human rights?
No, I think if you know me, I don't really give too many people my energy. He's definitely not someone I would give my energy to. Try to use my name to create an opportunity for himself.
All right.
Definitely won't comment too much on that.
Clout chaser.
If any, and that'll be where I lay that at. He's always kind of had a word or two to say, in my direction.
Always been clout chasing on my name.
I really, if you got an issue with somebody, you really come up to him. He had his opportunity. I see him in the hallway.
Huh?
By himself.
See, that's what you do to a clout chaser. You starve them of what they want the most.
With your friend Steven Adams. So first up, we would like to ask, what were you thinking?
You starve them of what they want the most, and that's attention. So until next time, this your host. Until the next post.